The four candidates running to be the first mayor of Braintree squared off in a debate sponsored by the East Braintree Civic Association Thursday night at the Watson Museum on Quincy Avenue. The candidates are Joseph Sullivan, Joseph Powers, Brian Muello, and Paul Walsh. Brian Muello is from Braintree and works as a substitute teacher in Boston. Paul Walsh is a member of the town's Commercial Traffic Review Committee and is a small business owner in Braintree. Joseph Sullivan is a former Braintree selectman who also served as a state representative and executive director of the state lottery. Joseph Powers currently serves as a Braintree selectman and works in the private sector. He is a former school committee member, former town moderator, and a former town clerk. One of the first questions posed to the candidates was whether or not the town should prepare for a large-scale school building project or just continue to repair the current schools.
To me, the issue, whether it's the schools, a critical part of our physical plant, obviously, or whether it's the other buildings that we have in town, whether it's former libraries that don't have air conditioning on the nights of debates. What we're talking about is how we maintain our infrastructure. And one of the things that this town used to do very, very well was had a commitment to a capital program. We had the discipline, we had the ability, and we had the folks that were tied into that concept. We need to go back and recreate that discipline to infrastructure. We need to create a capital improvement project, a capital improvement program that's tied into our borrowing. You use your home equity to fix your roof. We need our home equity as a town to fix our schools and our other buildings. It can be done, and it can be done by borrowing and borrowing sensibly.
We have brick and mortar schools. 99% of them are brick and mortar. Buildings in town, 100, 150 years old. They're repairing them and they're turning them into $1 million condominiums. We don't need to tear our schools down. We need to spend money on the schools, absolutely. We need to fix them up, update them, bring them up to today's standards. One of the ways I'll do this is through a savings account plan. I'm not going to borrow money. If I become mayor, I'm going to require 1% of our total receipts, taxes and all, be put aside and mandated to a savings account that we cannot spend until we reach somewhere between $5 and $10 million. Once we reach that number, all of the money after that can be spent on infrastructure, repairs, roads, schools, and we'll have $10 million in the bank. So if we do need to borrow money, we're borrowing it at a lesser rate.
Again, we could work with each school, and things that are needed for the school, we'll just have to fix them. I don't believe in tearing them down and building a new school or whatever it may be. I believe I'll work very closely with a state representative, just like where I work in Dorchester. Most of the schools in the city of Boston are funded through federal money. All right, you want to hear it? Through federal money. And this is the state representative in Dorchester is able to get federal grant money for schools to revamp them, all right? It's not coming out of taxpayers' money, and that's all I have to say.
Our oldest daughter, Molly, is going to be a senior this year at Braintree High. I think the curriculum there is a very good curriculum. The internal workings of all our schools are very good. But in terms of the physical presence, they're not good. And I know that the town has an application in for South Junior High. I know that Flaherty needs attention. I know that all of our schools need attention. And in order to do that, we're going to have to make an application to the School Building Authority, which is a division of the Treasury. I know a little bit about the Treasury. And I think in terms of trying to secure monies, we need to put a comprehensive plan in place. In doing so, we'll be able to get some money back in return from the state, because we can show on the capital side, on the bonding side, that we have capacity.
To see more video from the debate, see the other clips at patriotledger.com.